Back again with another podcast break. Having a late night cigar. Gorka. It's a Gorka cigar. Breathing infused. I don't. I just picked up earlier today at my favorite cigar shop. It's not the best one. It's not the best cigar I ever had. I think I overpaid for this one. But whatever. It burns evenly, but I don't really taste the bourbon. And I won't be buying this one again anytime soon. I don't know, I just had nothing today. I don't have really any thoughts of anything today except expand on black man's reputation. It has a decent draw. This cigar has a decent draw, but it's not really one of my favorites. So I won't be buying it. I don't know. I just had on a Tuesday evening, Wednesday morning, just on the balcony, just chilling. And I was just thinking about the Balcony Chronicles last Saturday. And I was talking about their financial reputation. I never really told you how to protect your reputation. To protect your financial reputation. Protect your financial reputation. You gotta say no. You gotta say no to individuals that want to take advantage of you financially. Now, I know I keep harping on this, but this is very important because you're going to run into raggedy men who's going to want to try to take from you, take away your time, take away your money, take away your energy. Just breathing death into you. Instead of breathing life into you, you should be with a woman that brings life, that breathes life into your spirit. Not take away your peace and sanity. Now, Coach Greg Adams, he had a show earlier today, and his broadcast earlier today, and it was a very short main event. How a crazy ass bitch would rather deal with a bum than with a so-called good guy. And she outlined the good guy being the only one that everybody in the family comes to as a resource because nobody knows what the fuck to do. Right? He's always running around stopping everything, dropping everything to help out a family member, give money to a family member, do whatever. Now, this was a black woman, of course, and at this time in my life, at this point in my life, I kind of am done with black women. Well, I wouldn't say done with black women. I'm always going to be with black. I'm going to always favor black women over any other race, right? I'm just not into that black. I'm not romanticizing the black love. Black men and black women come together, we can do something special because I haven't seen it as of yet. at least in the media side, at least in social media, there's always been attacks on black men, whether they out of the race or they within black women. There's always an open criticism of black men that we can't do anything right. And we're not really respected until we get older. When the black woman gets older. And I find that to be true at my age. The older I get, I'm starting to see these black women who wouldn't give me the right time of day. Saying, hey brother, how you doing, brother? But you realize something else. I want you to realize something. And there were younger women when I was coming up, when I was in my 40s, who was looking at me like I was crazy. Like they really wanted to have a relationship. And I can honestly tell you that there is this one bartender, and I'm not going to say her name, but there was this one bartender that I used to go to the bar. And we would just talk about her day, and talk about her baby girl. And I'm trying to hook up with her, and I'll say, hey, you got any aunties? And I would always ask her that every day when I come into the bar. She would let me go ahead. Why don't you slide your auntie, one of your aunties, her number? And of course, she's from Panama, of course. But she loves black men. I can tell. Because her boyfriend, she told me, one of her boyfriends that she's seen is black men. So, well, her mom was dating a black man and wasn't in a relationship with a black man. Matter of fact, her father, that was her stepfather. He was silly enough to marry a woman with two kids. But I can tell that she loved him to death. I can tell it was genuine. But I would not advise anybody, any man in their right mind, to become a stepfather. And I'll get into that a little bit later. So I can genuinely tell that this young woman actually likes black men. And she would flirt with me every once in a while. Every time I talk about her mom, not her mom, but her aunts, one of her two aunts, she would always get mad. I said, why? She would always get mad. And I'm like, why is this woman getting mad at me? Because I'm trying to get into her family. I want to talk to her aunties. But then a few years later, it just hit me that this woman had a crush on me. This little woman had a crush on me. She was flirting with me. She was like, well, what about a 40-year-old man? What if I get with a 40-year-old balding man? I'm like, no, you don't want no bald man. You don't want no bald 40-year-old man. I was doing my Shannon Sharp impression. You don't want no bald 40-year-old man. And I would laugh about it. But genuinely, listen, I mean, if I were to travel this country, if the first country that I would want to go to is Brazil, and the second one is in Panama, because there's some fine ass women down in Panama. Right? I mean, two of the women that I had crushes on here, well, I'm old, that I was interested in, not crushes, but I had interest in, were Panamanian, and they had interest in me. So I'm trying to think maybe I should, get down there for a weekend and find out what's popping. Because I heard nothing but great things about Panama. And I heard nothing but great things about the women down in Panama. Let me tell you something. If a Panamanian woman loves you, this is what I've heard. If she loves you to death, she ain't gonna let you go. She ain't gonna let you go easy. Okay? So if you're out there looking for marriage, that's the place to move. But getting back to protecting your financial reputation, which I didn't do when I was in my 20s, in my late 20s, when I was dealing with some punk ass bitch. Thought we was gonna have a family, but that's one of the red flags right there. If she's a black American woman here in the United States, and she ain't looking to have a family with no black man. Trust me, a black man in America, alright? Well, there's a regular black man like myself who got it together. She was like that crazy, they're like that crazy ass woman that was on the Coach Greg Adams show talking about she would rather have a Pookie than somebody that's a good guy. And all throughout that video, she was talking about the time, dealing with a so-called good guy, your time is limited. Whereas with the Pookie, y'all are under each other all the time because the Pookie has nothing to do. It has nowhere to go. They don't have nothing to do. Okay? I want you to understand this, people. People who have nothing to do have nowhere to go. They have nothing to do. They have no ambition. They have no drive to do better for themselves. So they'd rather just sit around playing video games all day long while watching you go to work, black woman. But I kind of surmise that's what y'all want. You'll want a man around and do nothing. Is it sit around playing video games all day long and eating up the children's fruit loops? Black women don't want a man, they want a man. That's why they all for, when they get used up by Pookie and have 7 babies dropped on them, they come to you. They come to a guy like me. They run into a guy like me. And they play like they're interested in you. When all in all, they want to take from you. Woman is not interested in having a family, because what kind of a man could have a family with a woman that has children, and those children are not even yours? You're going to learn a hard lesson if you become a stepdad, or if you consider it. You're going to learn a hard lesson that those children that you love don't have the same love for you. I guarantee you. Trust me, I tried to play the stepdad. I was dating a woman that had children twice. I was stupid. And guess what? None of their children were looking for me. Sent me a card on Father's Day, or called me to say hello. Even as adults, they have a call and say, "What's up? How you doing? You all right? I know you and my mom are not together, but you all right?" None. And that's only because we're not together. Now imagine if we were together. Would I still get that same Father's Day call? Would I still be able to walk their daughters down the aisle when they get married? No, probably no. That'll never happen. And I'll tell you why it won't. It won't happen because they know that I am not their child. They are not my children, and I'm not their daddy. And it's simple. 10 to 20. You don't have that same lineage as if you're your own children. Now, having your own children and holding family, that's a crapshoot as well, because I've known fathers, I know some of my boys who are fathers, and they don't get any respect from their children at all. So I said to myself, and they're looking at me like, damn, man, you lucky. They're looking at me like I'm the lucky one. And I'm looking at them, y'all the lucky one. But I get the dynamic. Everything is relative. So, in essence, I can honestly say that, yeah, I'm very fortunate that I didn't have children. But, because probably that's what I wanted. I wanted a family, not just children, a family. And that seemed to be, that is something, that's one dynamic that seemed to be missing in this country. It's a family dynamic. That's what I was preaching about. That's what I was, not preaching, but that's what I was, in the last couple of live streams, I was like saying, black men, we need to establish a family for ourselves. But unfortunately, we're not going to do it in this country, and we're not going to do it with black men. So if you are looking for a family, I suggest you use your passport. Get on out of here. Try your luck overseas. Let's see what's going on. Let me see what's going on in the chat. 17 minutes in, nobody's on. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end it early. But, you know, because I got some things to do, and I just wanted to finish this cigar before the evening ends. But I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll be back on Saturday with the Balcony Chronicles. And we'll talk about something. I'll probably find something to talk about. Something's bound to happen during the week. But listen, this is talkincrazy88, and I am out of here. And folks, let's be careful out there, all right?